Yo, it's Mud. I'm back with another episode of the Minivan Mystic. Heading home from work. Been doing a lot of studying. Mentally taking notes, physically taking notes, and I just want to break that down to you guys on how to study. So when you pick a subject matter you want to study, or that you get interested in, or somebody shows you that, like, something gets brought to your attention, right? And you want to further your knowledge on said subjects. So what I do is I'll watch a bunch of videos, or I'll read a bunch of stuff. It's warm. I'll read a bunch of things about the said subject and study it. I'm gonna study that said subject, but I'm mentally taking notes, and while I'm reading something, I'll write down, this is what I was reading at the time, or here's the video I was watching. And during that video, I'll take notes of if they point out a time, like say it's a historical matter and it happened in 1780. I'm gonna write that, the when it happened, 1780. Where'd this take place? Write it down. But if it's a philosophy subject, some philosophical, I'll write down what it is what is the question that we're trying to answer. And then whoever I'm learning from, or I'm listening to, their take on it, I also write that down. And I take mental notes, and I'll watch a bunch of different videos on it. And then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna formulate what is my take on it, and how does it fit into my beliefs, or how does it fit somewhere into my logic. Because I'm kind of weird, right? So if I'm studying philosophy and I'm studying how we made it here, why we're here, I believe in creation, but I also believe in evolution. I believe we were created we're created to evolve. So a lot of things will try to sway you away from either subject, right? But in my mind, I'm getting the knowledge that they have, and I'm like, how does it fit into this that I'm believing in? How does it fit into my beliefs? And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I just be like, okay, that's how somebody else believes. This ain't something I believe in. But there's multiple times where I'm like, that makes sense, and that fits in. That's why I study everything, because it's all a puzzle. All knowledge is power. All knowledge has meaning to it. So it's all a puzzle. Sometimes it's just the outer edge. It's not the inner part of it. You know, sometimes you read something and it makes sense, but it don't fit all the way in the center of my puzzle. It don't make up the picture of my puzzle. You know, the outside of the puzzle's just the border. So, like, it's not like a main piece to the puzzle. It's the outer edges of the puzzle. But it makes sense and it fits in there. And just as we evolve, I believe that belief systems, philosophy, religion, spirituality evolves for the times. But that's in, like, the morals of it, not really the reason how, like, obviously how we got here, that's set in grain. You can't change that. But, like, some things just change with time. That's why I feel the Bible is, I'm just using that as a reference. They go back through it and they change things for the times. Because for it to continue to go, it has to grow, right? So, I'm not trying to be religious with it or anything. That's just an example. So, but at the end of the day, what I started this video for, when you're studying, man, you gotta be taking notes of what you're studying. You you gotta look at who you're learning from, because some people will lead you in the wrong way on purpose, and you gotta question everything. Don't take everything as this is set in stone and this is exactly how it is. My viewpoints change all the time, not because I read one thing or something. It's just I'm checking out the knowledge. I'm checking out the studies. Some stuff is just theory, and I look at it and I test it. And if it doesn't hold true, then obviously it wasn't meant for me. So at the end of the day, make sure you question everything that you study and everything you read, and question it, because a lot of times you can get some good information from somebody, but don't take everything they say as, okay, so he was right about this, but he could be wrong about something else, you know? So like, you're studying something and then you're like, yeah, that makes sense, and then you read something else. Don't just be like, okay, that's right because he was right about this. You gotta remember, we're all humans, so, and a lot of times too, you gotta look at the philosophers. If you're reading philosophers, like if you're reading philosophy, you gotta look who's writing it, what time period did they come from. Some of you can't look at and be like, I'm just gonna only study Plato. It's not gonna work. His time period is gone. Yeah, there's things that we can relate to because we're obviously all human, so humans write stuff down. Philosophers, spiritual people, religious people write stuff down for humans. But you gotta look at too the fact that some of this is for that time period. We're not in that time period, so that's one thing to take into account. And if you see some science, right? You're studying something scientifical. Make sure that you're not just taking one scientist, like, okay, they studied this, they put it through the lab, but who else studied it? You can't take it, like I said, with a grain of salt. Take everything as a grain of salt. You have to make sure that this is right, and don't take somebody's word for it. Yup, this is right. This is true. Until you know for a fact it's true yourself, don't take it as truth. One person's truth might not be your truth. But yeah, that's all I got on studying and internalizing things. Another thing, real quick, about taking notes. When you dream and you have vivid dreams, you have lucid dreams, you should have a book next to you, a notebook. And when you have really, like, you wake up and you had that good dream that you felt some type of way about, or you remember it, you should write it down. It could have meaning. Sometimes it's meaningless, but sometimes your dreams be telling you, because when you're sleeping, your mind releases DMT, and DMT is the chemical that's released from the God particle, and DMT is spirit molecule, and that can link you to the astral plane, and you could be getting some knowledge you need for the future, or some knowledge about yourself. So you should check that out. Make sure you're watching your dreams, paying attention, taking your time to really write this stuff down. Another thing too is, as you're going through your day, I usually carry a notebook with me to work and everything, whatever I'm doing, because if something pops in my head or I start thinking about something, I don't want to lose that. So I'll jot down notes about what it was, so that way later I can formulate an actual opinion about it. Because sometimes I'm just sitting there, like today at work, for instance, which I can get far into, but I started thinking about creationism, fact that we came from, we're extraterrestrials here technically, and that life started in the heavens and started on another planet, or wherever. We started in space. I believe we were brought here from space. So where does the dinosaurs come into all this? So now I have another loophole or another roadblock in my beliefs that I need to go back and check into more. It's just dinosaurs popped up in my head. No reason. I was listening to Wu-Tang Clan, man. They weren't talking about no dinosaurs. And it just popped in my head. So that's something I might have to go check into. I might have to go look at some more. I've never really studied about dinosaurs that much. I mean, I have in school, but not in my own time. So that's the next thing, is I have to find out, where's dinosaurs come into all this? So that'll be a video to look out for, because that's coming soon. That is coming soon to the Minivan Mystic Show. But yeah, take notes. I always be taking notes. And then when you do formalize your opinion about things, reevaluate those sometimes. Sometimes something will come up and you start thinking, or you see a video or something, and it's like, okay, so that's what I need to do. I need to look up this, or I need to look up that, because that don't fit perfectly. I need to find that piece of the puzzle that puts this together. But yeah, so that's all I got, man. Remember, every day, thank the sun, thank the universe for life. Do something for your mind, your body, and your soul. Remember that if times get rough, there's 3 simple things you need. And they're all nourishment. You need to nourish yourself. In order to grow, you need to nourish yourself. You need food, you need warmth, and you need love. That can come in many different forms. I'll do a video on that too soon. The 3 simple things that you need from birth: food, warmth, and love. And I'll break all that down. But it's been a pleasure. I love y'all. Thanks for rocking with me. Keep it G, y'all. This is Mud. This was the Minivan Mystic Show, and I'm out.